So the next speaker we have with us is Mr. Pradeep Kumar Panda. He is an economist, author, columnist, and development professional. He'll be speaking on a very pertinent issue, that is macroeconomic crisis of COVID-19. He is awarded with National Youth Icon Award 2019, Best Writer Award 2019, Best Young Researcher Award 2016, University Achievers Award 2008, and the list goes on and on and on. And he has published around 17 books. He is a columnist in Hans India, Orissa Post newspaper, Enviro Annotations, Geography and You, and published over 100 articles in the area of gender equality. We are privileged to have you with us, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, Namaskar. Thank you so much for having. Thank you, GUHAR, for this wonderful opportunity of conducting this national webinar. This will certainly help everyone. And thank you all the participants for your active and enthusiastic participation. जैसे कि उन्होंने बोला, I'll be speaking more on macroeconomic crisis or the present situation of the Indian economy. Generally, when you see business cycle, macroeconomy condition is known from the business cycle of an economy. Generally, business cycle में क्या होता है? 5 phases होते हैं. It would be first is inflation, when there is high price rise. Then as in price rise declines, it's a recession, and gradually it goes to depression, the lowest point of the economy. Then it comes to recovery, and then again the inflation. So abhi for the timing, if we consider this is COVID pandemic is a depression kind of thing. So where our economic activities is going down. So we are at the end. We are going down in the economy, and further it will accelerate and worsen further. So going by the economic terminology, it's a depression, like we had depression, Great Depression of 1930s, and a depression kind of thing. And the indicators for this macroeconomic crisis, we know the indicators of macroeconomics. First one is ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट ग्रोथ रेट, जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट को माना जाता है कि ये इंडिकेशन दे देता है कि इकोनॉमिक किस तरफ जा रहा है. सकेलू घर बात बोलते हैं. तो जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट इज एस्टिमेटेड इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू ग्रो एट 1.2% अकॉर्डिंग टू आईएमएफ. बहुत सारे इकोनॉमिस्ट इवन उसको भी डाउट कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज बहुत लॉकडाउन सिचुएशन में इकोनॉमी इज ऑलमोस्ट इन स्टैंड स्टिल. सो the thing is that it is expected to, some are saying it is even grow around 0.8%. That is not only for India but also for the world. According to IMF estimate, world will grow at 3.2% less. So it's global situation and we are part of that. So GDP growth rate will decline. That is the first indicator. Then inflation, currently inflation is at 3.34%, but that will go down because a lot of there is no demand from the market, so it will go down. Then according to all the situations, fiscal deficit is another indicator. Fiscal deficit is around 3.5% estimated for this year. But according to the stimulus package announced by the Honorable Prime Minister and Finance Minister, 20,000 lakh crores, that will take it to further level. So fiscal deficit may go to 7%. Then primary deficit, that is at 0.4%. Revenue deficit is 2.4%. Or saving and investment is around stagnant. Saving or investment बहुत घट गया है, and it was earlier before also, even before pandemic, the growth rate of saving and investment was stagnant. The current account deficit is around 0.2%. उसका मतलब है हमारा import ज्यादा हो रहा है, export कम हो रहा है. So current account deficit grow कर रहा है, and we have a $1.4 billion current account deficit amounts. So that also we have to cover. Then debt to GDP ratio. अब कोई इकोनॉमी कितना स्ट्रांग है ये डेट टू जीडीपी रेशियो से पता चलता है. डेट टू जीडीपी रेशियो ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज अराउंड 69%. सो वी हैव नो मोर, मतलब हमारे डेट बोरोइंग करने का इतना कैपेसिटी नहीं है. बट वी हैड ए अनाउंसमेंट फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड बैंक, दे विल assist India with $1 billion for this crisis. Then Indian economy, generally Indian economy is a primarily service sector economy. Everybody knows service sector contributes around 60% of the economy. और उसमें भी FMCG sector, farm fast moving consumer goods, उसमें ज़्यादा contribution करता है. Then comes industry around 30% and agriculture आज we know it's lowest around 16%. लेकिन एग्रीकल्चर में लेबर फोर्स ज्यादा है. Around 60% of the Indian economy is dependent on the labor force. So the current situation of unemployment is terrific, horrible. अभी recently, according to recent Center for Monitoring Indian Economy data, around 12 crore Indians have lost the job. बहुत सारे सेक्टर को badly hit हुए हैं. The top 5 or 6 sectors which are badly hit are travel and tourism. Travel and tourism sector को सबसे बड़ा झटका लगा है. Almost उनके they are saying that 10 lakh crore का नुकसान हुआ है and they have lost 3.8 crore jobs in this period. और आगे को और वो होने वाला है if it is not opening. Then comes FMCG, fast moving consumer goods sector. Hospitality sector also, they have lost 5 lakh crore jobs. This is a huge amount and it contributes more to the economy. Then hotel and restaurant, everything is closed, so there is not much of a demand. So hotel and restaurant industry, there is the loss is estimated 5 lakh crore and around 5 million, and there is job loss of 5 lakh crores. Similarly, automobile industry has lost 5 crore job. जैसे कि मेरे previous सुधांशु जी बोल रहे थे, not a single car is sold during this period. But there is a good sign. Recently, I have saw the picture in Aaj Tak that recently in 2-3 days in Manesar plant of Maruti Suzuki, they have produced one car. So it is picking up because sector has opened. Then construction and real estate sector is badly hit because there is no activity. So it has lost many jobs. Then MSME sector. MSME sector is the backbone of Indian economy. It contributes 30% of GDP in the sector, and it employs around more than 70% because Indian economy, the informal sector contribution is more than formal sector. 80% is almost informal sector, 90% you can say, 10% is formal sector. So the informal sector comes from MSME, which are small petty, जो भी छोटे छोटे दुकानदार होते हैं, all the service one plot thing, so they contribute most. So this is the situation. The situation is gloomy, but not this is challenging, but not impossible. जैसे बोला जाता है, my previous speakers are also told this thing, when going gets tough gets going. जहाँ challenges होता है वहाँ opportunity होता है. Business cycle में जब depression होता है, then when economy जब move करता है, then it starts picking up. और because हमारे पास बहुत लोगों का पास demand होगा, it is called pent up demand. हमारे पास बहुत demand है. When gradually it opens up, the sudden effect will be more. Generally, when there is lockdown, there is negative multiplier effect. Production बंद हो गया तो consumption बंद हो गया, consumption बंद हो गया तो unemployment हो गया, then low demand. It's a vicious circle. Similarly, when economy opens, it will be advanced super multiplier effect. जब economy खोलेगा, production होगा. When production will be there will be employment, there will be money, then there will be consumption, again there will be demand. So the cycle will go in forward direction. So there is lots of hope. When the economy opens, it will give a lot of opportunity. But for that, will need some of the legislation, some of the policy measures and instant policy measures. First and foremost, jitna according to us is first priority will be the to solve the डिस्टेंस माइग्रेशन. हम देख रहे हैं टीवी में, बहुत अफसोस होता है जब हम पिक्चर्स देखते हैं, लाखों लोग चल के जा रहे हैं और 200 kilometers 300 kilometers without everything, so they are going distress migration, they are going to their village. That problem need to be solved by providing some quick financial assistance, that is fiscal stimulus. Every person has to be supported with some monetary scheme so that at least they can sustain this crisis period. Kuch monetary stimulus chahiye, then that has to come to directly to their account so that they can spend it. If they'll spend, then the economy will pick up. Because मैंने जैसे बोला था, ours is more सर्विस सेक्टर इकोनॉमी. सर्विस सेक्टर इकोनॉमी में कंजप्शन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. तो इट स्टार्ट्स विद द डिमांड. व्हेन यू कंज्यूम मोर एंड मोर, द इकोनॉमी ग्रेजुअली पिक्स अप. सो द फोकस शुड बी टू गिव fiscal stimulus or monetary support directly in the banks of all the persons who have lost their jobs, the daily laborers, Jan Dhan account scheme, gradually. And to back up that, we have to also provide the food support, immediate food support. FCI, with the help of their distribution network, FCI, Food Corporation of India, has a network across India with their warehouses. So FCI can play a vital role in supplying the already food stocks to the needy person based on our government system. Whoever needs the thing, that has to be stimulated further. And many governments have also launched, like Odisha government has launched, Delhi government has launched that coupon system where they can have the food. So first thing is to satisfy their consumption demand so they can live. जान है तो जहान है, मोदी जी बोल रहे. अभी जान है भी, जान भी और जहान भी. So first we have to satisfy their basic emerging need, that is food and nutrition. Food and nutrition के बाद आएगा employment. Employment, what we have to do, we have to create employment in the informal sector of the economy through MGNRGS. MGNRGS has the potential to give employment to 10 lakh crore Indians. So and it will be boost to every migrant worker. जो भी लोग काम करना चाहते हैं, MGNRGS scheme अभी in some of the state it has already opened. So it has to be open in pan India level. जितना आप pan India में MGNRGS scheme को launch करेंगे, then you will basically get the income. जब income आएगा, consumption होगा, then as I said, the forward multiplier will act and we will see the recovery in the economy. Similarly, there should be public investment in infrastructure sector, because जब economy down होता है, then there will be no private investment, क्योंकि system dumb pessimistic रहता है, there is no profit, so private sector will not come up. So it is the time for public investment. Public investment जब आता है, then it drives private investment, crowding in effect. Public investment जब आएगा, चीजें economy move करेगी, then private investment will follow that. So but the start has to be from the public sector, the government. Government should start construction activities, all the infrastructure activities, roads, railway, this construction, following the social distance guideline, उसको follow करके, and there are some of the guidelines that they'll also provide employment to female laborers in night wherever needed according to the guideline. That has to be there. Then all these will lead to demand generation. जब demand generate होगा, then economy will pick up and we'll see some of the good things. Then at macroeconomic level, what the government should do, coming to the stimulus package, government has to, we know there is a limit on the government spending because there is fiscal deficit rule that is known as FRBM, fiscal responsibility and budgetary management. Government can't spend on, मतलब जितना मर्जी वो spend नहीं कर सकते. There has to be limit according to budget. According to budget, there is a rule that fiscal deficit has to be 3% of the GDP. It has to be limited. This year's target was 3.5% fiscal deficit target. So immediately what we should do, we should change FRBM Act. Change FRBM Act and increase it, the limit to some percent, so that government will get some fund and it can spend accordingly. So FRBM rule has to be changed. Then similarly, primary fiscal primary deficit, revenue deficit rule has to be changed. Second, after that, there should be, as said by previous speaker, there has to be multiple economic reforms. Multiple economic reforms like land reforms, all these reforms at the same time, one another. If there will be a multiple economic reform, it will have multiple effect on the economy. So that has to be taken care of. And after that, there will be a debt problem. Generally, जैसे मैंने बोला, debt to GDP ratio of Indian economy is around 70%. So we have no room for more debts. So what we have to do is monetization of deficit. We have to arrange fund. Monetization of deficit means we can go for some printing of notes and some public borrowing. Public borrowing will be difficult because people don't have purchasing power right now. But some of the persons, if they have, it can go for that open market operation. Government can go for expansionary fiscal policy and monetary policy. Generally, government operates in the market through two mediums. One is fiscal policy, through which public investment and public spending and expenditure, government borrowing and expenditure is measured, and government can pump up the money in the public through public investment, and also it can take money through some of the measures. So accordingly, it can be expansionary fiscal policy or contractionary. Right now, it should be expansionary fiscal policy. Government should invest more and more by going for open market operation, by giving more money. Now, all the states are demanding that whatever their pending money should be given. Like GST money is pending with the government. That money should immediately be given to the states. And all the MGNRS backlog that is with state government, that has to also be cleared with immediate effect. Because if money will go, state governments will also be able to spend on economic activities. So all the pending money that lies with the government of India and the pending money from public also, there is a lot of refund request in income tax to the tune of 1 lakh crore. That has to immediately given. All the purchases whose money lies with the government, that has to be immediately financed, so that they'll get some money. When they'll get money, that they'll give the money in the hands of consumer. When consumer gets money, generally they consume and the economic cycle moves. Similarly, expansionary fiscal policy, it has to be also addressed by expansionary monetary policy. The general monetary policy of the economy is controlled by Central Bank of India, in our case, Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India controls money circulation through its repo rate, all the repo rate, bank rate, these measures. So it has to relax the repo rate. It has to generally situation should be created so that people should have more money. Banks should have more money so that they can go for credit creation or instant multiplier money effect. When there will be credit creation at the bank level, there will be more loans. More loans means more consumption, types of different loan, and at the same time, the rate of interest should be low, so that it has to be affordable. Like MSME sector, they have announced 8 lakh crore credit guarantee scheme, in which MSME sector can take loan without any condition, without any condition. So they should be given money without any condition, because the situation is very, they can't provide collaterals, they can't give higher interest rate. Initially it has to be given with low interest rate and no collateral free loan. Gradually it has to be summed up with the market linkage. Whatever they are producing, that has to be marketed by all the our food corporation of India, and all the our EM hat. Agriculture sector has need to be supported with the increase in minimum support price. All their produce should be marketed by the uh, government of India and various state governments. Monetary policy, expansionary monetary policy, and expansionary fiscal policy will help the economy to pump up more money in the market. When there will be more money in the market, there will be circulation, and gradually it will pick up from where it is at the state. Right now, it has stagnant, but there are some hopes, because we are seeing the opening of economy. MG analysis work is allowed some in after lockdown 3. Then agriculture activity is allowed. Some plants have started.
Uh, Pradeepji, please conclude.
Yeah, sure. So um, mm, basically, the point to think about right now is first demand generation, instant monetary supports to all the migrant labor, so that they'll stop migrant labor. So that they have to do through instant monetary support through their bank account without any delay. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to control the situation. Then that has to be backed by expansionary monetary policy, fiscal policy, public investment, and that will lead to demand generation, and gradually it will pick up the economy. So focus should be on demand generation, public investment, and monetary support. Sorry for taking much time.
No,
Thank you so much.
no,
Thank you so
no.
much. It's pleasure.
Thank you, Pradeepji. It's very informative. Although you have touched almost each and every aspects of the economical development and almost all basic point, which is the need of an hour, and then you have very much discussed that how the laborers' problem need to be addressed, how the government should proceed further. But you, as you understand, time constraint is there. Otherwise, you would like to love listen
Obviously,
you something more what you would. Okay.
obviously.
So again,